What's up YouTube? Solomon Landscaping here. Today I am changing out my hydraulic fluid on my Toro Proline. Toro Proline 36 model 44410. So getting started, you just want to lift up your mower, set it on a jack stand, make sure it's nice and secure, and take off these two bolts holding this bracket up. This is covering your hydraulics, your hydros. And it's gonna pop out just like that. Next, taking off the tires. Gotta take off the tires for this one because the oil filter will be right behind it and it's just easier to get to it. Next, we're going to take off the oil filter cover. It's just 2 bolts. I believe it's a 3/8. And there she is. You should probably clean those off if they're dirty. Mine had a bunch of grass clippings in them. So doing the same for the other side, take off the tires, taking off the oil filter cover. And there is your second oil filter. So now, before you start doing anything and taking those filters off, you want to take off these vent plugs. Here's one. There is the other. So you want to make sure that you're able to break these and you're able to actually screw them off, because this allows you to drain the oil faster, and also it helps with filling the hydros back up. So just break them. You don't have to remove them out, because if you do, as you just saw, some oil was spilling out. So just make sure you're able to break them free. So next we're removing the oil filter. Want to pop up the reservoir cap, get some air going in there. Once you start taking the fluid out, you can take the bolt out on whichever hydro you're changing out. Or just crack them open like I did here. Crack them open enough so air's getting into it. Same with the other side. Now once all the oil has been draining out, it's time to get the new filter installed. Make sure the part where the oil filter sits, it's cleaned, and you put a little oil around the rubber gasket. It'll help seal it up. Want to make sure these filters are hand tightened. Nothing more, nothing less, and you'll be good to go. So now I'm just putting back the oil filter covers. We're pretty much done working under the machine. All that's left to do is just fill it back up. So this is where you can remove the bolts to vent plugs if you haven't. So what we're going to do is we are going to fill up the machine with your hydro fluid. And you're gonna wait until fluid starts coming out of one of those vent plugs. And once they do, you plug it back in, and we'll see here in a little bit. So the 2 vent plugs are out. You're filling up the oil, and you see how it's spilling? Put the plug back in. So here you're actually done with that vent plug. on whichever hydro the fluid's coming out of. And then you want to just fill it up from the reservoir cap until fluid starts coming out of that other vent hole. And then plug it back up. So here we are getting air out of your hydros, so you want to put your bypass levers out. This is going to purge the system from any air in your hydros. Make sure you want to do this, or else big damages could arise. So once you get your bypass levers out, you want to start the machine, and you basically want to go forward and backwards with your levers about 6 times. Once you've done that about 6 times, you want to turn off the machine and put your bypass levers back in. And do the same thing. So bypass levers are in. Make sure your parking brake is off. There we go. Put it in forward all the way. Come back. And then you want to do this about 6 times. You would just want to make sure all the air is out of your system. After you're done doing this and you're purging all the air out, you want to put everything back together and you want to go mow for about 10-15 minutes, and you want to check back on your reservoir, your fluid reservoir, and you'll be good to go. So that's it, folks. You've successfully changed your hydro fluid.